November 24th, 1971. A cold, rainy afternoon in Portland, Oregon. A man walks up to the counter of Northwest Orient Airlines. He calls himself Dan Cooper. He looks completely ordinary. In his 40s, calm, polite. He buys a one-way ticket to Seattle. Flight 305. A short, 30-minute trip. He boards the Boeing 727, takes his seat at the very back, seat 18E, and orders a bourbon and water. But Dan Cooper wasn't planning on just flying to Seattle. He was about to execute the most perfect, most baffling crime in human history. A crime that would leave the FBI completely blind for over 50 years. Because Dan Cooper was about to vanish into thin air. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper leans forward. He hands a folded note to Florence Schaffner, a 23-year-old flight attendant. Florence assumes it's just another lonely businessman giving her his phone number. She drops the note into her purse without reading it. Cooper leans closer, his eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses. He whispers softly, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Florence opens the note. Written in neat, all capital letters, it reads, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I will use it if necessary. I want you to sit next to me. You are being hijacked." She sits next to him, terrified, and asks to see the bomb. Cooper calmly opens his briefcase. Inside, Florence sees 8 red cylinders tied together with red wires, connected to a large, heavy battery. It looks entirely real. Cooper closes the case and delivers his demands. $200,000 in negotiable American currency, $20 bills only, unmarked. And he wants 4 parachutes, 2 main and 2 reserve. When Flight 305 approaches Seattle, the captain announces a minor mechanical delay. In reality, the plane is circling the airport for 2 hours. On the ground, the FBI is scrambling. They are desperately trying to gather 10,000 $20 bills from local banks and searching for military-grade parachutes. Meanwhile, inside the plane, Cooper remains shockingly calm. He isn't nervous. He isn't shouting. He even offers to pay the airline for the drinks he ordered. The crew is astonished by his politeness. At 5:43 p.m., the plane lands at Seattle-Tacoma Airport. The lights in the cabin are turned off to prevent police snipers from seeing inside. A lone airline employee walks up to the plane and delivers the heavy canvas bag filled with cash and the 4 parachutes. Cooper keeps his word. He releases all 36 passengers, but he keeps the captain, the co-pilot, and 1 flight attendant on board. He orders the captain to refuel the plane and fly toward Reno, Nevada, but there are very specific instructions. Cooper orders the pilot to fly low, below 10,000 feet. He wants the flaps down, the landing gear down, and the cabin unpressurized. At 7:40 p.m., the Boeing 727 takes off into a violent, freezing rainstorm. Visibility is near zero. Behind them, 2 U.S. Air Force fighter jets are secretly tracking the plane, hidden inside the thick cloud. Suddenly, a warning light flashes in the cockpit. The aft stairs, the staircase at the very back of the plane, have been lowered. The pilot radios through the cabin. "Is there anything we can do for you?" Cooper's voice cracks through the radio for the last time. "No." At 8:13 p.m., the tail of the airplane, Dan Cooper had done the unthinkable. In 15-degree below zero weather, inside a freezing rainstorm, blindfolded by a pitch-black night, he tied the $200,000 bag to his waist, put on 2 parachutes, and jumped out into the wilderness of Southwest. When the plane finally lands safely in Reno, the FBI storms the cabin. They expect a standoff. Instead, they find an empty plane. Cooper is gone. He left behind his black clip-on tie, a mother-of-pearl tie clip, and 66 unidentified fingerprints. But the man himself had vanished. What followed was Norjack, the largest, most expensive search operation in FBI history. Thousands of soldiers, FBI agents, and helicopters searched the dense, mountainous forests of Washington state for months. They find nothing. No body, no parachute, no clothes, nothing. For years, the case remained dead. Until 1980, when an 8-year-old boy named Brian Ingram was vacationing with his family on a beach near the Columbia River. Digging in the sand, Brian found 3 degraded packets of cash. The bills were heavily eroded, but the serial numbers matched. It was $5,800 of Cooper's ransom money, but it only made the mystery deeper. Why was the money there? And where was the remaining $194,000? Over the decades, the FBI investigated more than 1,000 suspects. Men like Richard McCoy, a veteran who pulled a similar heist months later, or Sheridan Peterson, a skilled skydiver. But one by one, DNA evidence cleared. In 2016, after 45 years of continuous investigation, the FBI officially closed the case. It is the only unsolved skyjacking in commercial aviation. Did Dan Cooper survive that terrifying jump into the freezing storm? Did his parachute fail, leaving his bones buried deep in some undiscovered valley? Or did he walk away, changed his name, and live the rest of his life spinning? We may never know. Dan Cooper didn't just steal $200,000. He stole a piece of American history, leaving behind a ghost that the world will never catch. What do you think happened to D.B. Cooper? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love mysteries that stay in the shadows, don't forget to subscribe to Midnight Files. Until next